Hi everyone, we are at UC's Top Talk and today we are sitting in the office of ALT Balaji with Mr. Sunil Nair, one of the evangelists in digital media industry, COO of ALT Balaji.
Happy to share my ideas and all of that. So I've been the typical startup guy. I've always looked at every assignment the way one would run a startup. Alt has a parent company which is a large production house, but Alt is structured the way a startup would get structured. So it would operate like a pirate operation. We do a lot of things which large corporates don't do. Our tech stack is very innovative. We've kept it low cost.
We recently heard that, almost 20 million paid subscribers you have notched and in the Q1 2019. So, what was the strategy behind it? How would you see that as in, what was your take when you did that?
We are one of the smallest OTT services in the country. We do not have a large television network backing us. So, the other OTT apps which belong to television channels or to telecom operators have the opportunity of having very large budgets in terms of just marketing. So we just had to be more innovative. So our strategy has been to look at the market and divide it based on the ability of a subscriber to pay. So out of the 20 million odd people who have subscribed to ALT Balaji, about 1 million plus are people who have come directly to ALT Balaji, swiped a card or used a digital wallet and paid directly to us. The remaining 19 million plus people have come from what we call as our distribution strategy. In fact, we were one of the first guys to go out and tie up with every OEM,
Right.
every wallet, every possible location,
Right.
where it is easy for us to showcase our product in front of our audience. Because we do not have a lot of marketing money, we obviously can't put 2,000 holdings all over India.
Absolutely.
Or we cannot be on every GEC channel. So we've taken the route saying that can we be within telecom operators? Can we be on the decks of the OEMs? Can we be visible when somebody is making a payment? And that distributed network has given us 19 million subscribers. And that's the 20 million number. And the math is simple. Our approach has been we don't have money. That's where we start from. We have a low threshold of spends that we can do. We'll use it to do PR, to do show marketing, to do a little bit of buzz creation, and take a lot of hard work and effort to get our distribution right, and that mix works.
So when we talk about those 20 million, subscribers, I actually want to understand every player in the market is today moving towards tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 market. So what is your strategy? What do you think? Is this the right time to actually move to that market, or you still have time to explore the metro cities and then move to the market?
About 9 months ago, we found a big shift in our data. We saw that from being 60% metro-centric, top 6 cities, top 8 cities, which is where our subscribers came from, the ratio flipped over slowly, of course. 9 months ago, it flipped over to about 42% coming from the metros and the remaining coming from the T2 and T3 cities. So we started seeing places like Jabalpur, Indore, Anand, Chindwara, Jalandhar. These starting to appear on our heat map, and these are not subscribers. These are people who have paid for the service, and they have paid, and they are not spending like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, just snacking content. These are people who are spending 2 to 3 episodes. They're watching 2 to 3 episodes a day. Wow. That's how much does a Netflix user spend in the US. About 3 months ago, the data that was reported was about 90 minutes. And we were at 75 minutes in a country like India. If you look at our market spread, it is a large portion, almost 70% of the core subscriber numbers come from five markets, 5 states.
Okay.
And those 5 states are in the north.
Okay.
It's North Maharashtra, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Eastern Uttar Pradesh. That's where a lot of the action. So, Hindi, if you have Hindi content, it works in those markets. But what's also happening now is there is Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam,
Right.
which are large entertainment markets.
Right.
So while we don't do regional, we've done one-off Bengali and a Tamil show and those. We have that in our long-term strategy. The players who have regional content are seeing traction happen there. We have content that is mainstream Hindi, dubbed and available in Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam.
Okay.
And those shows, which are dubbed shows,
Right.
are doing very well.
You have been sitting on so much of content, and ALT Balaji claims to be the largest original content bank. So, how do you see it growing in the near future?
Currently are live with 43 shows. 43 original shows that have been commissioned and created for ALT Balaji, which makes us the largest repository of original shows in the country. Now, if you ask me where we would go, we would probably end up doing another 60 shows in the next 2 years. That will get us to 100 shows.
Right.
And at that point in time, we will be able to, look at expanding the portfolio by either commissioning more shows or making. So at least for the next 2 years, I know that we have 60 shows that are lined up.
How important is content marketing for you in the Indian ecosystem? And how does it help ALT Balaji to grow leaps and bounds?
So content marketing for us starts when the show is commissioned. We treat each of the shows the way a movie was on. Now, what's interesting in this is most people would look at show marketing on OTT services the way a movie is marketed.
Okay.
So you market for 45 days. So you have 15 days before, 15 days when the movie is up, and 15 days later,
Right.
and then you forget about it. Now, for a OTT service, any OTT service, it's not something unique to ALT Balaji. Show number 1 that we went live with, or test case that we went live with 2 years ago, is brand new content for anyone who comes into ALT Balaji for the first time today. So the second thread of marketing that our marketing team does is that when we go into an undiscovered market, we work with a community called Shiros,
Right.
which is
Right.
women only.
Absolutely.
Those people were aware of ALT Balaji but never had watched women-centric shows that we have. How do we do show marketing beyond the show having gone off every place? It's again going out and reaching out to the customers and markets that have not heard of the show and resurfacing the content again.
There are a lot of global players which are coming in the Indian market, and they are eyeing the same audience which you as an organization is eyeing. So what is your reaction to the competition which is coming in, and what kind of strategies are you adapting to counter that?
See, the global players who have already come in or who would probably be coming in
Right.
are eyeing that edge of that little segment of the market, which probably is about 50 to 80 million people who are English savvy, if I were to use that in a loose sense. This audience is traveled very well, is aware of the shows that have done well elsewhere, and would want to watch that in India. We straddle the part which is between two extremes. So there is one of my mentors and ex-group CEO of Balaji Telefilms had coined this term, saying that ALT Balaji exists between Narcos on Netflix and Nagin on television.
Wonderful.
And that is the truth. There is a 300 million audience which sits in between, which is not in front of a TV set, because they don't identify with a Nagin, or there is only one TV at home and mother is watching Nagin, hence you don't know what else to do. And they don't identify with the English tonality which is there on any of the international platforms. So there is a we are not going to be able to serve all 300 million. So I suppose that there is very large play that exists there where Indian content can do very well.
As a category, as an OTT category, what would be the strategies so that a player can survive in the Indian market right now?
Indian market always has rewritten rules of marketing, rules of product, and practically everything. You've seen large MNCs change their strategy when they come into India after being in India for a couple of years. So I would assume a lot of the partners, a lot of the players who are coming from outside India will have to look at India and decide what they want to do in the first place.
Right.
So Indian companies like us, Z5, have an advantage there itself. We understand the market far better than an international player. International players don't look at, you might look at a Saas Bahu serial and say that, oh, I don't like this, but like there are 500, 600 million people who watch it every day.
Right.
You cannot say that, because it's being served to them, they watch it. There is a logic which is there. India is an emotional country. We like the larger than life drama that goes on around us. And I think if the guys who are coming into India need to survive, then they need to Indianize them. The Indian guys who want to make it big will have to really understand what's happening beyond the top 8 cities in the country, because there is a very large revolution happening in the rest of the country, in the small towns. They already have a mobile phone, they have ways and means of expressing themselves, and you have to show them what you are capable of. It's not that you deserve that audience, it is whether those audience want you.